You have entered the Chronics rabbit hole, and Vaulty, thank you so much for this suggestion on the link share on our Discord, and you are bringing us My Story as Mental Frontwoman number 45, Tarja Turunen, and I'm very excited for this. Thank you so much for your suggestion. Out of the Enter the Chronic family, I am the psychologist and philosopher, so I like to ask the questions of why and how and all of that. I love my interviews, so they're giving me the task of checking out this video right now to dissect what they are going to ask Tarja, and this is actually Chaos Zine, which is something I have never checked out their interviewing style, so shout out to them. And also we are starting our own podcast, Storytime with ETC, coming very soon, where we're going to be interviewing reactors and also artists. So we're very excited to learn how people are interviewing some of our favorite artists as well, so we can learn something from that as well, especially myself. And here we go. Thank you guys so much for being here today. And again, Vaulty, we really appreciate what you do with your link shares, and everyone else that is in the Enter the Chronic family. Thank you guys so much for your time. Boom! Ooh. I like that emblem.
We can laugh at it now. I don't mind all the dirty blackers. Pierce.
Wait, you guys gotta let me know what song this is, because I don't think I know it.
When was the first time that you actually recall hearing heavier music, like rock music or metal music?
Right into it, I like it.
Oh yeah, my elder brother Timo, who is 7 years older, he was listening at home, actually hard rock, even some metal, and yeah, I was very little. I was hearing him. He was also playing drums at home, so not really metal, but he was playing drums. So he was always around the music in my childhood already.
Older brother.
So what was in metal music that sort of caught your attention?
It really didn't get my attention when I was a kid. Actually, it didn't get my attention that much.
Okay, there you go.
But classical music got my attention. And seriously, I
love Tarja's brutal honesty, and that's why she is so charming, because she could just say it how it is. And for me, at first, heavy metal was a little too much for me too. I'm a little on the softer side. I was raised by a bunch of women. Praise all of them. They did a great job with me. But yeah, so that's hilarious.
Nobody in my family was really familiar with classical music, but I happened to hear
I love
classical music, and somehow it drew me and got my attention, and I felt like I want to know more about this. I want to learn what is it.
So much to it.
And that was and is my background. All of it is in classical music. Metal and the love for metal music came later on. Through Nightwish and through the experience I got to be part of a metal band, be part of, and start working in this scene. And it was absolutely amazing how much beautiful music I got to know and learn.
Wow, so she went full classical, but then when she got into a metal band, which I guess they were friends, Thomas and her growing up, so they eventually made a band together, I'm assuming, because I don't know the full background, and to know that experience is what got her into so much more metal is pretty amazing, because I was so naive to Nightwish growing up, and I only since 2022 have figured them out, so think about that, eh?
So was like Nightwish your first proper metal band that you joined in, or did you have some kind of like band project before?
Yeah, absolutely. Nightwish was the first one.
Wow.
If you talk about metal, yes.
Impressive,
we had in a high school bands and projects, but not really like nothing serious. I was studying music, I was studying classical music, I was studying lyrical singing, I was studying, but metal, yeah, Nightwish was the first one.
Wow.
So when you joined like Nightwish, were you first like making covers, or did you like immediately try to make your own music? What kind of like early memories do you have with the band?
It was the first demo, seriously. The first demo was really acoustic. It was just acoustic guitar, keyboards, and my voice. And it was not
Nice.
metal. It was something else. It was really, how would I describe that? It was really beautiful and
Progressive?
airy and, you know,
Airy?
I thought, yeah, sure, I really like the songs, and I went to studio
Wow.
and I sang the songs, and the guys knew me because we were from the same village.
Wow.
So the guys knew that I had a voice. I
Yeah.
had always been singing around, playing or singing in
honest, yeah.
local events. So they knew that I can sing, but they did not know that I had gone into music university and my voice had changed into operatic.
Yeah,
So,
no
as,
kidding. And I heard she went to a German school as well, which I found out when she did the Rammstein cover for Ohne Dich. And that was incredible. Definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. We'll throw it up. And wow, like that's so cool that they still spotted her and knew like let's use her, and that's almost winging it too, and she's winging it, even trying it if that's her first medal. And to think how successful they became, damn.
as I have started lyrical singing. So it was a surprise in the studio that they heard me singing with the lyrical vocals, and they were like, what the heck is this?
Okay.
So the songs at the moment, at that time on the
Nice.
demo, they were too light, airy
light.
for my big
Voice.
vocals.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So did it take like long time to figure out like the right technique to do those like high pitched, more operatic vocals, or did that came like naturally for you?
It was really tough. I was in the beginning of my classical singing when I joined Nightwish. It was
Beginning of
like
it.
I had recently started the university, Sibelius Academy here in Finland, and
Okay, in Finland.
so I was in
Okay.
the beginning.
Good to know, Ellis.
I would say in both ends,
Right.
singing metal and singing lyrical. So I had to find the middle way somewhere, where to put my voice, how to project my voice into these metal songs that we were doing. We did our second demo. It was our first album, Angel Falls First, and it was really difficult for me to project the voice so that I didn't sound like an opera singer. I did not want to sound like an opera singer.
Okay.
But I used my lyrical technique on that record, and from that on, in all the records.
Wow.
But the beginning was tough. It was really tough.
But it separated
I was
them.
not aware of my instrument, my body, how it needs to function. My technique was not good enough.
Okay.
So were you also like losing your voice?
No, never like that. I
Okay.
never was losing my voice. That was my focus always. 100% my focus was never to harm my voice.
Oh.
It was tough because when we started making the first concert tours and, the equipment was not really as it is nowadays, the in-ears and amazing studio kind of sound.
Right.
I could not hear my voice at all when the band was playing and blasting, and
Damn.
through the veg I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna destroy my voice completely, but I didn't.
Good.
I was always very focused in technique.
So was that the first proper European tour that you were like now explaining also?
These-
That was that kind of experience for you?
Yeah, it was. We did some shows with Angel Falls first, and then with the second album, Oceanborn, we went to Europe already. Supported Rage, and that was tough. But hey,
Supported
it was fun
Rage?
also at the same time.
Did you already like learn a lot about
Rage Against the
yourself
Machines, or
while you
what
were
Rage?
on the
Please
road
let me
for the
know.
first time?
Yeah, of course, but all new. It was all new. Everything was new. The traveling aspect was not new to me. I had been in Europe before. but and travel around in several countries. But all the rest, you know, sleeping in a touring bus that I didn't get any sleep whatsoever, and you know, guys were partying all the time, 24/7, and I was the only girl around. There were nobody. There were no other women. I mean, no.
Okay.
See, like, that's why I really appreciate, like, Tarja, the Simonas, the Floors, all those metal women that took on upon themselves to show that some of the best bands can still be female fronted. And that's something I veered away from when I was growing up. That was the metal that I wouldn't listen to, other than a little bit here and there. Like, I'd say Lacuna Coil and Evanescence were the only things that were kind of metal that was along that line in at least Canada that was on radio. So that's what's been one of the awesome things about this channel, and especially Tarja. As you know, we love to showcase Tarja on this channel because we believe in her so much and what she does and what she stands for. And this interview is showing what she's all about, and it's really cool to know the journey from classical to metal for her, and how she never really wanted to sound operatic. So she was trying to also not sound the way that she was then training to be. So that's a hard balance she had to find, and that I encouraging to see that even when you're not at your best, you're still performing that well and you can do that good.
Testosterone was on, but I had
All the
fun.
testosterone. Ooh.
I suffered, yeah, I did, because I needed to focus on my voice and to be able to deliver every day, and that was really tough, but I managed, and because the music was beautiful, and I wanted to get everything out of it, you know, from the experience.
Did you already have, like, back then some kind of like warm-up routine, and has that somehow changed, or has it remained the same for you throughout the years?
The warm-up, absolutely, it has always been there. It's a vital process for me. I can't go and sing if my body is cold, if my voice is cold, in a way that I need to feel I'm ready for it.
I've never like sang but I've performed like with sports, and I definitely have to make sure to warm up before I can go and perform. And that's good to know that she has some warm ups and has some foundational things that she always goes to, because that's what humbles anyone, is making sure you do the foundational things and the fundamentals that sometimes get disregarded when you get a little farther and become more of a master in your craft. So that's awesome that she still keeps going.
I have been very, very lucky to have seriously good vocal coaches throughout the years. I'm still taking singing lessons time to time.
I forgot which one
My
that one
vocal
was.
coach is in Buenos Aires. I went through the Sibelius Academy experience. After Sibelius Academy, I went to Germany University in Karlsruhe.
Here we go.
And I always had different kind of vocal coaches, but
So she did go to Germany, so that's awesome. At least, so she went to Finland and Germany, which is amazing.
they were all more or less talking about the same things. But I picked up my way of doing things from them, you know, what are good for me. And I believe as they are, as many singers as there are mushrooms in this world, I mean, seriously, we need to find our way.
Yeah.
What is good for me, it's not necessarily good for somebody else. So I had to find it, and yes, the warm-ups are really important. I do breathing exercises, I do some stretches, I do even some push-ups, and I try to, you know...
There you go.
It's a
Get some push-ups
physical, but also mental process.
Yeah, because like it is a performance, and like that's why I attribute it to like an athlete, because they are you are an athlete when you're out there singing and performing. And like some of the best people, like the Taylor Swifts who are breaking records right now, she's very active when she's performing. So if you don't know that and you just think maybe it's just poppy music that's making her so great, I don't think so. I think it's because her concerts are so amazing. And same with Tarja. She's at like a Taylor Swift level of how she likes to entertain and embody every part of her song, and has time to shine for other people too. And everyone working with her are just top class people, starting with Nightwish. And what a way to start, right? And her transition to her solo stuff, which we're starting to get more into now on the channel, is really up her alley as well.
Prepare yourself for the show.
So are there like some specific foods or drinks that you wouldn't rather have for the show that you have, for example,
milk,
felt that they affect
no-go.
your vocal cords somehow?
I really enjoy drinking lemon with ginger. That is something that I'm doing with a little warm water every day. Like every day I'm doing that. I feel that it's really good for me. Klaus Meine from Scorpions gave me a really good tip a long time ago that there is a tea. It's like a throat coat that you can only get that from America, unfortunately. But I've been ordering that tea ever since that. When he told me that, it's been really good for my voice. It's like, but it also has some like a licorice. It has a ginger, maybe cardamom, something like. It's really soothing the vocal cords, and it makes me feel good. I even drink that during the show.
Nice.
But water is the best. If you think about it, the water is the best anyway.
Yeah.
But sometimes
You're
if you
right.
need some like you feel like.
You need a little more?
The ginger is the miracle.
Ginger.
So you mentioned now like having tips from Klaus Meine, but
Yeah.
what kind of like vocalist did you admire, like when it comes to the metal world? Did you had some kind of like people that you admired, or was it more like from the classical side that you looked up to?
Well, yeah, because my childhood went into, or my whole youth went into classical music, studying and all that. So, and because the metal world was new to me, so I didn't get to really listen metal before I joined Nightwish, and I got to know about Dio or Bruce Dickinson and all these incredible voices. Yeah, I mean, but women, not really. But
fair enough.
male vocalists, they were there.
Tarja, you're
that I
a
was like,
pioneer.
wow, how on earth these guys can sing like that? It was really nice. But maybe my blessing in overall has been that I have always used my lyrical technique in singing rock, metal, and I'm still doing it. And that's kept me going. And also the fact that I have not needed to show more than necessary. It's been always enough, the voice I have.
And she has that's hinting she has even more to give, which is amazing, because that she's going to keep evolving and showing us all the new parts that are going to come. And I've always been intrigued with the connection of classical, operatic, and metal, and how it actually all is in the same family in a way with some of the composers of our past, that like Bach and all that, and Valdi. And as you guys know, I don't need to give you the lesson. You guys teach me all this stuff, and that's why it's so cool to know why it was such an easy transition for me, because I loved classical and Disney and all that growing up. So I can see why Nightwish obviously was a nice fit for me, and how it would be an easy fit for her when she was a classical lover, and Disney as well, I'm sure, because Tuomas is all about that, and he's the one making the music, and that was what was easy for her to go in. Which is also why I can see why she was the perfect muse for Tuomas, especially at the very beginning of Nightwish's time. So that's really cool. It's awesome to get all this history.
So obviously you have released a lot of albums with Nightwish and also as a solo artist, but are there like some specific albums that you could sort of pinpoint from your career that you have taken a step forward as a vocalist, that you have learned something new about yourself?
Oh, absolutely. I think from
nice.
Nightwish career, I can say the last album, Once.
There
is, in a way, it's sad that it's my last album with the band. But the thing is that there,
so good.
I felt finally super comfortable in using my voice, making differences, coloring the songs, being powerful enough, singing with the operatic parts. Yes, and then going softer vocals where they were needed, softer vocals.
That's how I learned
It's like
about her.
on that album I
Just the
felt
Wonders.
everything was in harmony. The band, the music, my voice, everything.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely my favorite album from the band. And it made me realize that, hey, now I can project, and now I'm comfortable, now I'm okay. I don't need to think about too much anymore. I can just have fun.
And she sure has fun.
So what about
Wow, so she hit her peak of comfortability with the band on her last album, which is The Bittersweetness, and she is so humble in how she's been able to move forward. And coming down the rabbit hole this month, we get to hear, I believe, Diva, if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned on that. Definitely subscribe for that if you're new. And to be just seeing all this background, it's all making sense, and to think that's her favorite album from Nightwish and what like end of an era was, like, wow. And the first song I heard from her was Dark Chest of Wonder, which is from that album, and all that. It's just really cool, y'all.
solo career? Are there like some specific albums from your solo career that you felt?
But, and real quick, like, to know she was at her comfortability, at least with her singing, now that she started her solo career after this, that's good that she got to their final stage of her comfortability before moving solo, which is always nice too. And maybe she needed this to fully be herself.
That you have sort of taken a step?
I have to tell you that my recording techniques, you know, I'm recording nowadays alone, my vocals, but I used to record without any, you know, without only with the loudspeaker in front, like singing live in a live room, not in a studio environment, like in a, like where we are now at the moment, in a living room environment. And because of the high and more, the songs that needed more lyrical vocals, I always have had trouble in using headphones, for example. But nowadays, I don't necessarily need that any longer. And the difference was between Shadows, Shelf, and in the Raw album, my latest album, that I just sat down in the studio alone and I said, shit, I need to record my vocals on my own. I will do it. I can do it.
Nice.
And the confidence in me somehow had grown along the way, and I said, okay, I need to be able to do this. And still, it is tough when it comes to the operatic vocals to do it with the headphones. It is tough.
Wow.
But
No kidding.
there is a difference. I can feel that.
Of course. Even
I'm
talking
quite
is
okay
muffled.
with that
Can't
already.
imagine singing.
So are there like some specific tracks from Nightwish or either from the solo album that you feel that are like extremely difficult to perform live?
Yeah.
Many.
Many.
There are many. But you know, I haven't been singing the Nightwish songs. I have been singing, maybe I take one song in a show or none currently anymore in my own shows. But I got to record one Nightwish song for the crew of Nightwish.
Yeah, Crewwish album.
Yeah, Crewwish album.
Crewish.
Some time ago, and it was such a fun moment for me because I felt like, hey, this is so easy. And I remember recording, when I was recording the song, it was tough and it was high and it was like, I needed to work. But now it was like, hey, this is fun. So it was a good moment for me to realize that, hey, I've done something good and I've developed. And
We have never seen that Crew Wish, so if you could, someone in the comments below, put that Crew Wish link for us, that would be much appreciated. We trust in you, Nightwish
make
Army.
progress. It's a good thing. But there are songs like, okay, first comes in mind cover song that I covered, I dared to cover from Muse, Supremacy,
Yeah, oh, that was a good one.
from my second to last album, The Shadow Self. Oy, that song is a bitch every time I sing it, but I love the song.
I love it. She
and
loves
I
that
really,
word.
really love the song, but the range is huge.
I love that me a singer too.
But also my own songs, I tend to write damn difficult melodies for my voice. In a way, I enjoy the fact that not too many singers can sing my songs because of it. I mean, seriously, the range
Hey,
is...
that's great.
Talking about Innocence, for example. Victim of Ritual is another one.
Oh, I love that song.
Always a focus on, but already I'm having fun, so that's a good thing.
She is always happy.
So what were your parents' reactions when they heard that you joined a metal band? Do you remember?
I do remember my parents, they've always been okay with my music choices and my life choices in general. I mean,
Wasn't that awesome?
my mother,
That's
my mother was the coolest person on this earth. I mean, she's unfortunately not any longer here, but yeah, she was my
Shout out to the
buddy. I mean,
moms.
we went to we went to buy the first performing clothes from in sex shop in Joensuu. I remember we went to look for some PVC pants and something like that with my mom. So yeah, she was completely cool with it. My father
is
as well,
awesome.
and they had fun and they came to see the shows with Nightwish,
So good.
and you know.
To have that relationship with your parents to go to the sex shop would be actually pretty cool. Like, and that's an awesome relationship to have where you're that comfortable. Obviously, you don't want to get too abrasive, but that is awesome to see.
Really cool. It's all okay. They've always trusted my instincts. Like, okay, you know what you want, and you do what you want, which I really appreciate. And I really try to do that
So much courage
myself at the
from that
moment for my
confidence you'll
child.
get.
Last question. Any advice that you would like to give to a young metal or rock vocalist who is just about to start their journey? Anything that comes into your mind?
I have always said that it would be good to sing for some professional, in one point. Because your own ears might not be enough. Even, I don't talk about lyrical singing, not necessarily, but there are really great vocal coaches around that could give you tips. And because it is a tough road out there. You might
In
think
any
that you are
profession,
capable.
but,
Yeah,
especially
but
singing.
the road is hard. And if you're young, yeah, again, you have the strength in your body, but the vocal cords are like like this, and you can make such damage so easily.
Right.
So I always say, look for somebody,
Yeah.
find that person that could be there for you when you need him or her. Yeah, it is important.
I agree. Y'all.
Thanks a lot.
No, thank you.
Wow. I'd love to see more of those. That was an amazing one. I believe Marco was in one of those as well, and it on time popped up right there. That was amazing. I love Tarja and everything she does, and I think what she's saying at the end there is 100% correct, because you need to have a professional that knows exactly what is expected to make sure you have a foundation to not destroy something that is so brittle that could end your career so quickly, like the vocal cord, or a big injury in an athlete. If you're playing a certain way that's going to cause you to get injured, like you need to change a game or something, or change your way you're singing, right? So always put yourself around people that you know of, that can help you in any craft that you're trying to do, because even if you're too scared to do it, I guess then you're never going to reach it there. But what Tarja is trying to suggest is to go to that pro if you can, and bounce the ideas off of them, give the honest effort and the full thing you can. Don't be afraid to do it, and then you can get some honest feedback from some of the best people, and that's sometimes the hardest. But if you want to make it, then that's a good advice that Tarja was saying. I would say anytime I coach with basketball, that's the same stuff I would do. I would tell them to look at the people that are doing the skill that they want to get good at the best. So like if you want to be a good 3-point shooter, go to Steph Curry, for those of the basketball folks. And if you're an operatic singer, maybe you got some good selections, but Tarja for sure is an amazing selection, especially if you want to mix something different with metal. And to know her story, how she got in there, what she's doing now on her solo, and our journey with her, because we've went through everything, and we're now going to be doing some of the documentaries that are early Nightwish that are more about her, and we're excited to start those ones as well. So it definitely, if you guys want to stay tuned with EntertheCronic and you're new, you want to see all that stuff, hit that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss anything. We got a bunch of more stuff, Tarja, Nightwish, symphonic metal related. Hope you guys had a good time. We are exiting the rabbit hole now. Peace and love. God bless y'all.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Enter the Chronicness.
Special shout out to all of our patrons and YouTube members. We appreciate all of your support.